So, hey guys. So, it's been about 3 weeks, I think, almost, maybe a little over 3 weeks since I've actually posted. I think it's approaching 4. I don't know. But I just kind of wanted to sit down and talk to you guys just for a little bit, kind of explaining what's been up. So, I don't want to make this like one of those like manipulative YouTuber mental health talks, because I'm obviously a small YouTuber, so like whatever. I'm not going to monetize this though, because that seems wrong and I hate it. I hate it when a YouTuber is like, I'm having poor mental health, and then they just like, they monetize it, and I'm just like, I get it, like if you need the coin and like you're not doing well, but it just bothers me a little bit. It just seems a little bit manipulative, that's all. But so yeah, I've been gone for, like I said, almost a month, a little over 3 weeks. And I don't really have like a good explanation for it, other than the fact that I mentioned this in my last Chatty Get Ready With Me, but I hate talking about this stuff. I hate talking about this stuff. It makes me uncomfortable. But I kind of talked about how like normally around this time of year for like the fall and everything, I kind of start to get a little bit more like depressive episodes. So truthfully, I've never been to a therapist. I've never been to a psychiatrist. I don't want to just like throw out these terms wildly, because I come from a family where like mental health issues and mental illness stuff, we don't talk about that. Like not with each other, not with anyone else really, maybe except like friends. And we kind of just keep it to ourselves. Like that's kind of how I was raised. Like, oh, like you're sad, cry it out, move on. Like that's kind of how it is. And it's not like treated as like this lingering issue. Like you're expected to kind of just pull yourself out of it no matter what, and then just like keep going, which is both good and bad, because it kind of gives you this like precedent where you're like, well, everyone goes through this, so you need to kind of pull yourself out of it. But at the same time, is like if you're having real issues, then you're kind of in it by yourself and you're kind of alone. And that's kind of what it feels like. So usually what happens to me is at certain points of the year, I go through these almost like depressive episodes is the only way I can really describe them, where I kind of feel like I'm like drowning a little bit, or like maybe not drowning, but almost like suffocating in a way. And it's like hard to like really like pull myself out of, because it happened to me a lot in college, and it usually happens like, it was really bad in 2016. Like that was probably one of the worst years, like just because so much shit went down that year with like family stuff, like the election, my grades, like my future, like everything was just like, it's not great. And it kind of, I notice it usually what happens is that it happens, I'd say, right before summer starts and right before like fall starts. And I get these like really bad depressive episodes where I kind of feel like I'm suffocating and I don't really know like what to do about it. And I hate talking to other people about it, because I think there's still like a huge stigma around mental health and talking about it, because you feel as if you're like a burden, and talking to people, you kind of feel like you're making them carry a part of your burden when it's really something that you feel like you should deal with yourself. And that's how I feel. Like that's how I've always felt. I'm like, you keep that to yourself, and like you cry by yourself. Like that's something that's yours and that you have to deal with, and you deal with it alone, and then you move on with your life. Like that's always how it's been. And it makes me really uncomfortable. Like even doing this, it makes me really, really uncomfortable, and I don't even know if I'm gonna post this, and I don't want to cry because I'm not a baby. Like that's how it feels. And even then, like I make jokes, and even like looking at the camera and like talking to you about it, like I can't even like look at the camera. Like it makes me uncomfortable. I get so like shifty-eyed whenever I talk about stuff like this, and so it just makes it difficult. It makes it hard, and I don't really know what to do about it, because I almost did start using BetterHelp. Glad I didn't, because of the whole controversy around that, and also it's very expensive, and going to a therapist or a psychiatrist is just very expensive. And honestly, there could be nothing wrong with me, but normally what would happen whenever I go through these depressive episodes, I have a lot of anxiety, and again, I don't know if I really do have anxiety or if it's just all in my brain and it like sucks. But normally what would happen is that I would get really depressed, but my anxiety would be stronger than my depression, and so my anxiety would like pull me out of that depression and be like, you have to keep going, because if you don't, you're gonna ruin your life. And like that's kind of what's kept me going through years. And now like now that I've like graduated college and like I'm in grad school, but I'm really in kind of like the preparatory stage of grad school, where I'm not actually at like a full-blown university. Like I'm taking all these prerequisite classes that I need because I didn't get an anthropology degree, which in hindsight is fucking stupid because that's what I did. And so a lot of this now leads to, and I don't want to throw out these terms because I don't know if that's what's wrong with me or like that's what happened, but I don't know if this is true, but I just feel like I suffer from panic attacks, and they're different from everyone else, and I know that some people are like, oh yeah, I had a panic attack and I freaked out for like a second and then I moved on. Like for me, that's what I originally thought that it was, but for me, what happens is that I've kind of developed a little bit of insomnia from it too, but my panic attacks, like I know that they're different because I'll be laying in bed and then like my heart starts racing and I have this like everlasting sense of dread or like needing to run away from my problems, or just like it's just like it almost feels like everything in the world is just like crushing me, and then I have to calm myself down, like go through the motions, like, hey, like you're fine, you're okay. Again, I don't know if that's panic attacks, but like I get heart racing, I get really, really bad anxiety from it, and I get like stomach aches, even though like, and then it keeps me up until like 3 or 4 in the morning, and so like to calm down, I stay up late, I read books, like I do anything to like calm myself down, and then I know that I'm depressed because I sleep well into the afternoon. Like I've let like working out slide because I actually like working out. Like it sucks to do it, but then like in the long term, it's actually like very good for you to be moving all the time. And like I turn to food, like that's how I've always been. And so I've like gained a little bit of weight, which like isn't the worst thing in the world, but like it sucks because you see changes because you've been making better like lifestyle habits and blah blah blah, even though like it just like you start to just tank. Like my whole life is about like, it's been centered around like being okay for a long time and then like immediate self-sabotage, and it really fucking sucks. And that's kind of what happened. Like, or like I would go to like film videos and like I felt like I just didn't have anything to say or like anything to do, and I just don't, this isn't for me trying to gain sympathy or anything like that. This is just me really like, you can probably see this as an excuse of like, hey, you're lazy, like you're not doing anything, you're just making excuses, and maybe I am that, but this is my reality and I can't really like help that. And this isn't me trying to disregard like anything. Like I know that I come from a place of privilege. I know that because of my skin color and because of like my like parents having like a decent life for me, like I have come from a place where I have done like okay. Like there are a lot of people that have done better than me, but there are people that suffer way more than me, and it is because of my skin color, it's because of my upbringing. I understand that I have privilege and that I came from a place of privilege, but I feel like that also doesn't totally negate that my life growing up was weird and the situations that I grew up in were a little strange and kind of different. Not necessarily from family, but like maybe in real life or at school. But that is definitely not me disregarding. Like my life in comparison to a lot of other people's is not bad, like at all. And I think that's something that needs to be said. Like I'm not just here being like, look at the poor white girl, her life's so hard. Like that's not it at all. And like I said, I don't even know if I'm gonna post this. And this makes me really uncomfortable. But again, that's kind of what I've been doing. I've just been trying to chug along and try to make it through. because sometimes when you go through stuff like this, it's all you can do, and it's all you can try to do. And so if you need to just chug along until you get better, or until things get better, or the situation around you gets better, then sometimes sacrificing like what you like, just trying to get through it and trying to like sacrificing like other things that unfortunately make you happy just so you can chug through and make it through this episode is something that you need to do. As much as it sucks, and maybe that's bad advice, but sometimes you need to do that, and that's kind of what I've been doing. And I think I'm getting better. I think so. And like, I have talked to friends about it before, but like, is that like, again, it's kind of relates back to the whole feeling like a burden, and then just, but yeah. And it just relates back to feeling like a burden no matter who you talk to. And so I would like to go get help and go talk to someone, but I think that my deep-seated anxiety about going to talk to someone, and like just how like I was raised and how I feel, will kind of always prevent me from doing so. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for sitting through this if you did. And I saw a big reason that I made this is because I saw Elle Martial. She makes like, I don't know what her genre of videos, maybe like comedy, makeup, sometimes a haul, like, I don't know, she's fun. I like her. She's really funny. It was funny, we met on Vero, that Instagram, like that one thing that tried to replace Instagram and then ultimately failed. We actually met on that, and then we followed each other, and yeah, she's cool. I like her. But she made a video kind of talking about her depression, and I like was like, oh my god, like this, like it really like inspired me to kind of like take a look at and be like, well, where am I? Am I fine? And I thought I was fine, and I'm not. But I have recorded a couple of hauls, and you're gonna see them. I'm gonna edit them. I'm gonna post them. I have a video coming up with my niece. But yeah, I hope this made sense. Maybe if it's helpful to talk to someone, I hope you can. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. It was good talking to you. But yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for being here. We're almost at 4,000, and that's really crazy. And I just want to say thank you. I mean, again, if this seemed disingenuous, I'm really sorry. I'm just doing my best, just like the rest of us. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna go before I keep crying some more. But see you later. Bye.